All right, morning everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading the Markets. I am your host, Vays, and I am joined by another amazing guest, and it's his first time on the show. As crazy as it is, you guys will know why it's so crazy that this is only his first time. Let's welcome Matt, the AlphanumetriX himself, on the show. You guys have probably seen me attempt to use his indicator once or twice, and even though I sat through his presentation, teaching the indicator, as someone that runs an event, it's very, very hard to pay attention and not stress out over the whole event. So this is where we will all get to learn an incredible indicator. Matt, how are you today? It is morning for me, more like in the evening for you. Welcome, my friend, to the show.
Thank you, Tone. Thanks for having me, mate. Yeah, it's 10 p.m. here in Australia, in Adelaide, Australia. But it's
I just realized, like, are you like outside? Jesus Christ, you're dressed for the North Pole.
It's winter here, the Southern Hemisphere. And I live up in the hills, so it's all foggy and cold and beautiful. But yeah, it's cold.
All right, awesome. You survived the COVID lockdowns over there. I've been critical as fuck of Australia.
Yeah, I was living in Victoria at the time, and I think this is true that Victoria experienced the worst lockdowns in the world.
I love how you Australians actually think the rest of the world knows where Victoria is.
Yeah, in Victoria, just around the corner. Exactly. But it was horrible. It was horrible. But we got through it. Australians are fighters, we don't tend to dwell on the past. I think the Australians are sort of split into different camps. There's the ones who are super tuned into everything that's going on, and the other ones who are just kick a football and have a beer and let the world pass them by, I probably fit in the middle somewhere.
All right. So I don't want to waste time because I know we have a lot to learn, because unlike other guests, you do have your own indicator that you develop, and you're going to have to take some time to explain it to my audience and myself included. So guys, we're going to stick with our usual format. I'm going to do a well, first off, we're going to let Matt introduce himself and talk a little bit about himself first, before. Oh, I'm on viewing history. Sorry, hold on. What do I do here? I messed something up. Hold on. Wait. I had it and I lost it. Shoot. Okay. So I have to go here. Okay, here it is. No, it's not. I'll find it. Okay. I'm gonna go to screen share. I'm gonna pull up Matt's Twitter and YouTube and stuff. So Matt, go ahead and do a brief intro as I pull all that stuff up.
All right. Here we go. I'm Matt McGregor. You can see me there on Twitter. Time's bringing it up now. Under AlphanumetriX is the modicum that I go under. I've been a trader for a decade. I've been super focused on Bitcoin since 2017, the end of 2017, when Bitcoin spiked to 20,000. That's when I got into Bitcoin. I was very, very lucky that I found Tone and Tyler Jenks very early in 2018. So I avoided a hell of a lot of being bagged up by following them very, very early on. And it's really funny because when I started, I just was following Tone and Tyler Jenks and just the boys there. But after Tyler's passing, I decided to bring out my own indicator, which has a lot to do with Consensio in essence, but it's gone on to evolve a lot further than that. So I'm really excited to show you what I've done today. I hope you get a lot from it. The most exciting part of AlphanumetriX really for me is that we've actually built and will launch on the 10th of July next month a fully automated bot to trade AlphanumetriX, fully tailored by me. And you're going to be blown away by the results that I'll show you here today that can produce. So that's what's really coming. That's what's so exciting. Thank you, Tone. Can't wait to get into it.
All right, awesome. And Matt, Matt and I met for the first time in person when he graciously attended the financial summit. Right there, you see him right there. I gotta play this part real quick.
A group of people, some breath work in the first summit.
That was great. Did you attend those?
Yeah, on the last day I attended. I was pretty hungover every other day.
Every day, and Today we're taking an ice bath. This resort is really perfect for all of that. And I think it's a really great addition to this whole summit.
That was awesome.
Yeah, the breath work every morning was great.
My biggest insight and takeaway from the summit was the connections, the personal connections that were made here. All the events that and all the conferences we attended were spectacular, but it was the after hour stuff that I come for, and that's exceeded everything I could have imagined.
I would say.
All right, so
Tony, if you,
yeah,
if you don't mind, I'll just jump in there. The summit was so fantastic, and what's come from the summit on my end is this bot that I've developed. I've developed the bot with 3 of the other members that I met at the summit, and so you might say, well, what comes out of the summit? Meeting people like that I met, developing what we've developed, which is Black Box, as you see behind me, from the summit. This is total Tone Vays fingerprints all over it. So that's so proud about, you know?
Yeah, no, that is the best part, where people just meet other people and then they work together. And this has happened on numerous occasions at every summit. And everyone's been thrilled with the connections they made and the things they've built since the summit in the world of trading that help them make money. It's great. Oh yeah, Myra's all over Dubai right now. She might be part of that show, the Crypto Hunters.
Yeah, she was awesome. She was awesome. Awesome.
She won that trading competition, by the way. She's been a trader. She won. She kicked our ass in poker. She kicked our ass in trading.
Yeah, I know. It's not fair. It's not fair.
All right. But she is a trader. She really is. Okay. Without any further ado, let me just look at the markets real quick. I took the full day off yesterday. It was Father's Day here in the US. That's why I'm up at the cabin with the family. And then I'm gonna give it off to Matt. This is my projection for the rest of the year. And so far, we are following that purple path perfectly. And I think we are going to start rising into the halving, hitting the halving at approximately $30,000 to $35,000. On a weekly scale, it's a nice rebound with a hammer candle. However, we are stuck under 2 moving averages. And while it may look pretty on a 24 to 48 hour basis, our weekly trend is still down. And on the MRI, we still maybe can get an MRI buy coming up. I lowered my bullish allocation based on only Consensio down to 25%. And while, again, this candle looks great, I am happy to convert this 25% bullish allocation right into 100% bullish allocation once we start trading above 27,000. But right now, I still see this as a dead cat bounce, and I am not yet going crazy over it. On a daily chart, also beautiful bounce. It looked great for 2.5 days, but we now hit our head on a very critical 128-day moving average, and yesterday got rejected from it. The markets will not be open today for a brand new holiday that came out of nowhere called Juneteenth in the US. As the moving averages continue to deteriorate here, potentially crossing over, once again, until I see this breakout above the channel, I am not going to be jumping on the high horse here. Short-term charts are not very relevant. GBTC rallied like a bandit with this discount, getting to one of its better points over this entire year. I found this very, very fascinating. I can't wait to see what materializes of it this week. Oil, you've been watching my videos lately, right? Like this whole oil thing with the strategic reserve is crazy. Eventually, the Biden administration will run out of it. Oil is ticking up. I guess they're going to probably tap that reserve on Tuesday, right before the numbers come out. Natural gas has now broken my downtrend completely, and I am now very bullish on natural gas. I am still bullish on gold as it bounces off a very critical support, but if it hangs out here any longer, I will not be as bullish on gold as I was going into the weekend. I've been the biggest bull on the S&P 500 for the last 9 months, probably more than anyone other than perpetual bulls. And so far, it's paying off. I remain very bullish in the stock market. And that is it for me. Correlation has not been working out at all in the last in the last month and a half or so. Okay, so on this note, we already promoted the financial summit, and hopefully I'll see Matt yet again in Dubai in about 5 months. Unconfiscatable is coming to Las Vegas in December. Maybe he'll be able to make that. It'll be summer for you, but Vegas ain't that bad. All right, I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna stop my screen share. I think you have the capacity to start screen share. Yep, you do. And Matt, the floor is yours. And you may want to start with a brief introduction to AlphanumetriX, how it works. Well, maybe not the secret sauce, similar to the presentation you did at the financial summit about the indicator. And then we review the markets through your lens.
All right, mate. Let's rock. Okay, this is a presentation I just made today, but it's basically the same
Nice
thing that
you
I've
prepare.
Yeah, you know, it's me. This is what I've been talking about for years, and I actually was published in an article in Blockworld magazine where I basically spoke about this point a few months ago. So this is where I heard about Bitcoin back in December of 2017. So let's just choose an arbitrary time here of the 1st of the 1st, 2018. AlphanumetriX is developed to try and go against that whole hodl mentality. I think there's merit in the hodl, but what I'll show you today is that that's not ideal for your trading money, right? You can have a hodl position. I have 3 buckets. I have a long-term hodl position that I bought down at 3,100. I'm not going to sell that. That's locked in. I have swing trading amounts that I cut and trade with. I'm currently long from 17,200. I'm still in that trade to this moment. I'll hopefully stay in that for a few years. And then I have a leverage trading positions as well, which I'll trade in and out of to grow more Bitcoin, coin margin trading. So let's go through this right now. So this is really interesting. Let's say you got back in on the 1st of the 1st, 2018, and you hodled for all this period right here to break even. That's 150 bars you've been holding Bitcoin underwater from your position at the 1st of the 1st, 18. Okay. From that same
That's
period.
Weekly scale, right? Weekly bars?
Weekly scale, 150 weeks you were underwater from the 1st of the 1st, 2018. That's when most people heard about Bitcoin. Everyone that I know heard about Bitcoin then because it was the blow off top, the 20,000 high. If you just bought into that time and followed the methodology of just hodl, 150 weeks you were underwater. Then we've currently to this day, from when it broke from the position you bought, let's just say 135 days you've been in a positive trade through that period. You've also, throughout that period, gone through an 80% drawdown. Once you've gone through from here to here was a 70% drawdown, and from here to here was a 70% drawdown. That's a pretty tough pill to swallow for your hodl position. And you've also missed, so I've just written some notes here, from the lowest point to the highest point, you've sat through a 2,000% rise. That's all happened in 5.5 years, 285 weeks. So from buying here 5.5 years ago to today, you are only in 65% profit for all of that, your time and effort, hodling. It's not the way to go. Let's just say you had deployed AlphanumetriX at that same period, and you had put your money into a hypothetical black box, which we now have available. Your return from a $10,000 investment on the same period of time is 15,000%, 1.5 million. That is with only 20 trades. You can see them, all the positions over the charts right here. This is what Black Box is going to be firing off. This is the engine room behind Black Box. It's unfathomable that from a 65% return to a $1.5 million return from a $10,000 investment. That's all compounded too. So that means every trade you've made, you're doing 100% rollover. But it doesn't have to be. You can be a way more conservative than that as well. What I could recommend that would make it more safe. You should take the rollover position off. You're still in 844% return. You could take on a long only strategy if you're in a jurisdiction that doesn't let you short, and you'd still be at a 700% gain. It doesn't matter which way you cut it. Hodling is just not the best way to trade Bitcoin. So that's the overview of Black Box, and I'll get more into that later. But let's have a look at what AlphanumetriX looks like over the charts. This is on the 3-day time frame, but what we're going to go to now is the weekly time frame, because Black Box incorporates multiple time frames, the 3-day and the weekly. But the key thing we're looking for on the weekly time frame is these green diamonds on the weekly time frame. In the whole existence of Bitcoin, we've only had 3. One back here at 17,300, one back here at 3,100, and then finally one in the past back here at $200. So they're just something that you just can't ignore. It's something you can't ignore when they happen. And there's a lot of other things that go into AlphanumetriX. You'll notice the color of the wave. That's our macro view on the trend. So what we will be looking at with Black Box and with Alpha, and the way I would use Alpha is through multiple time frames. I would get 50% exposure. And when we were in Bali, I think around here, August. What month was Bali? November? Oh, it was right here. It was right here. October, wasn't it? Yeah. We were in Bali here, and I was already 50% long from this position right here. At 7, I got in at 17,777. This is like the day after we came back from Bali.
Yeah, the day after Bali, it had a total crash. Yeah.
It crashed, and I was underwater for a minute. I actually added more at 16 flat to bring my average entry in a bit lower, but it to 17,200. But what we're looking for on AlphanumetriX and what Black Box will fire is it will come down. You'll get 50% long off a weekly green diamond. And then when the wave changes, when we break the conditions to make the wave change, you'd add the additional 50%. So we were 100% entered back here. And when we came down and the wave turned red, I closed that trade out. That's my leverage position. It's completely closed out, and we reverted short. If I'm looking at Bitcoin right now, I'm in a similar position that you're in, Tone. For me, this is no man's zone, or as Fibbo Swanee would say, this is liminal space between two trades. I'm postured for further downside. So I'm looking for another weekly or 3-day green diamond to re-enter off this position. Or if we recover from here and when the wave turns green again, I'll get 100% long again. I'm not going to miss a trade either way. I'll either get a fantastic entry lower, or I'll go up higher and get back in. Go ahead, son.
No, go ahead. No, I'm good.
Yeah. So the methodology is to never be concerned, never looking at these lower time frames, never freaking out. It's a systematic approach to trading, and that's, I think, the key. Is it the best system in the world? I have no idea about that. Obviously, it's not. I'm not promoting it's the best system in the world, but it is a system. It's a fundamentally strong system, and it's a system that can be put you in real peace of mind. If you're not trading long, if you're only trading long positions, not trading short, well, you were fully long back here, sub 20,000. You close the position out here, and now you're just raised cash. So we come back down. I don't know where we're going to go. Who knows? I don't try and make those predictions.
All right, hold on 1 second. Now I have a question or two. So 2 questions. So it sounds like you went 50% long back in June on the green diamond.
Yeah.
You went 100% long on that giant candle in January, where the wave turned green. The big green candle in January. If you want to put your cursor on that. Yeah. January. You went. So on that candle, you went 100% long, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And have you lowered that position when the wave turned red, or you're still 100% long?
completely closed the position out in the leverage trading.
Okay, so your leverage trading position was completely closed when on that red candle when the wave turned red.
Yeah.
You want to put your cursor on that one?
Yeah.
Yep, that one right there.
27,200. About.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was all using the weekly. So can you flip this to the 3-day chart? I'm curious what the diamond and the wave looks like on a 3-day chart.
The same. They're pegged. They're pegged.
Zoom out a smidge.
Yeah.
Oh,
these
so
are. Yeah, they're 3-day diamonds.
Okay, right. So those are 3-day diamonds. But the wave is the same or no?
The wave's pegged across all time frames. That's right.
The wave would be the same, but the diamonds would be in different areas. So if you didn't want to go 50% on a weekly diamond, you can probably break that up into 25-25 on 3-day.
Yeah, I mean, and again, in the past, like the 3-day diamonds have been spot on. I'm actually looking for another 3-day diamond right now. Like they're more, obviously they happen more often, but they've still been sensational in the past. But yeah, you get a bit more of this. So that's why I like the higher time frames, and I love the black box strategy for alphanumetrics, which is multiple time frames working in unison together. It's not just one time frame. It's a combination.
Okay, so I think that's another area of confusion already for people in the chat as well. So let's only talk about alphanumetrics, the indicator, and then maybe pick up the discussion on what black box is. Black box is an automated trading strategy of alphanumetrics, right? So that could be confusing people, right? So as you know, I'm not, a huge fan of automated bot trading, even though I do need to write my own. And this is why I don't know, you and I hopefully you can spend an extra day or two if you come to Dubai. And after the conference, I would love to just, if I'm mentally ready, I would love to work with you and the other guys that you worked on Black Box with, because I need to do the same exact thing for the MRI. Like I have the MRI, I know how to trade the MRI, but I now need to put together a bot strategy for the MRI. And I have no idea if it will work or not, but you never know until you try. And that's exactly what you did with alphanumetrics. You got a bunch of guys together, probably took you about 3 to 6 months to write a bot to trade this and only this indicator. And then you perfected, and now you have an incredible returns with simply an automated trading strategy of your indicator.
Yeah, and it's an investment bot more than a high frequency bot. It's made, as I said, it's made 20 trades, 20 closed position trades accumulated since for 5.5 years. So it's not a frequent high frequency bot. The trouble that you might fall into with the MRI, which I love the MRI. For me, the MRI is the time, and alphanumetrics is the ocean. It's they go together really well, and I use them in unison a lot. But the problem that you'll have with the MRI is the repainting. You'll have to set the bot to when the candle closes, and a lot of the times the green diamond where you would trade off it is when it's breaking off from its condition, but that it'll have to wait till the candle closes. Otherwise, you'll get a lot of repainting, because a lot of candles will go like a green star, and then it could go a red star within the same candle. So you'll have a little bit of trouble with that. You'll have to find the time frame to set it. But we've gone through this process, and I can help you set that up. No problem.
Yeah, no, you and I will definitely need to discuss that. All right, sorry, I interrupted. So go on if you want to flip back to the weekly chart. And so right now you are obviously, you still have your hodl position, a part of it, but your leverage trading position and your swing trading position have both exited, correct?
No, my hodl position is still 100% long from 3,000.
Oh yeah, no. The hodl is hodl, right? But you have a swing trading position, and then you have a leverage position. Did you go short on the leverage position, or no? They're both in cash.
Yeah, no, I went short. So I'm currently short.
You went short on the leverage position, but you're in cash on the swing trade.
Yeah.
Okay, got
it. And the thing is, like the condition to make me, it's got the bot will have its own. I won't talk about the bot anymore, but I follow the same conditions. The bot is just the way I trade anyway. The conditions for me to be stopped out on this trade are it will instantly revert long anyway from that position. I'm happy to take the risk on the downside on this trade. That's fine. So you can see these little dots here. If we break above these dots, the position will revert long at that point anyway. And you might say, well, why are you taking the risk on this trade? Because you saw the returns that the system makes. I have to follow the system. It's a systematic approach to trading. And I'm happy to take a punt on the short side until conditions are met. The funny thing about the position that we're in right now with Bitcoin, it's quite clear to me that it could go either way. Obviously, we could spiral up and we could break above these 30 mark and onwards and upwards. And I'll be 100% long at that time and I'll be riding with you. No problem. But until those conditions are met, I'm looking for further downside, and I'm looking for at least a 3-day green diamond towards the downside. Hopefully it could come in above 20,000. I'll lock and load. I'll change the position from short to long, and I'll be locked and loaded in 50%. And then I'll add the other when we cross the green wave again. Ultimately, the longer we trend sideways here, every single week, these are drawing further down and down and down, and they'll ultimately flip. So I don't mind about time either. Price
So
and time.
those dots are reminding me of the SAR system, stop and reverse points.
Yeah, they're a modified SAR. That's exactly right. Yeah, spot on. Spot on.
Right. So basically, in a way, this is kind of similar to the MRI, where I follow the trend down, and two things would break that trend down. Either we hit an MRI buy point on a big capitulation drop, similar to your green diamond, or we change the trend and I pick up one of those green stars, and that's similar to how your wave changes trend.
Very much so, Tone. And it's just like you to have noticed that. You're a huge inspiration behind AlphanumetriX. There's the what would make me trigger a green diamond and what will make your make your conditions met are completely different things. But I love to see confluence between the two things. That's why I use them in unison. And often they'll print at the same time. In fact, I mentioned this to you at the conference. This was absolutely beautiful. If I turn the MRI on now on the weekly time frame, I set my buy order off your support and resistance line here as the green diamond came in to get that buy. That's why it was just brilliant. It was brilliant. The MRI was terrific at that point. And
yeah, and if it wasn't for FTX collapse, that probably would have been the perfect trade. That was supposed to be the low. And in hindsight, we know that the FTX drew the price of Bitcoin lower than it otherwise would, because a month later, it had completely recovered all of the FTX crash. So that, was a perfect low if it wasn't for, the black swan of FTX.
Sure. But see, and that's the thing about these green diamonds. They're not saying that green diamond is the buy. It's not saying that's the buy. It's saying at or below. At or below is the same thing to me. Do you know what I mean? Like you could pyramid buys. You could wait for the condition to be met and then just start a pyramid in, instead of like the DCA thing, or just DCA every week. DCA. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. But if you get a condition met, like a 3-day or a weekly green diamond, then the DCA can start. You can save your money every week and then start aggressive DCAing in at that point. So you DCA buy here, we bounce up, you DCA here, you're fully locked and loaded. Add everything else that wasn't hit, you add at the green wave flip, you're locked and loaded from an excellent position. We could have came down and got another weekly green diamond here. I would have added the additional 50% at that time. That's part of the conditions that will be met in the bot as well. So it would have been green diamond, 50%, another green diamond, additional 50%, average entry would have been midpoint, and then we would have been locked and loaded. Otherwise, the condition wasn't met for the second green diamond. So when we came in here, we added the additional 50%. It's a system. It's a system.
And on the way up, you do the opposite, right? Everything you do for the green diamond, you do the opposite on a red diamond.
I don't do that. I trim. So built into the system, on the 3-day time frame, as I said, we use multiple time frames. We'll trim the positions out of the red diamond. So 10% trim, 10% trim. We'll trim along these waves, but then we'll close the position out on the red flip. So if we go back in time,
go back to that low. Look at that. You have the green diamond on the red candle. Go back to the COVID low, the
on
COVID
the
crash.
on the 3-day time frame, we did for sure. Yeah, we did on the 3-day.
Wow,
Yeah,
what a perfect combo. And my MRI came in on the following candle.
yeah, yeah. There's been some sensational, uh, scores here.
Right. So you
But
scale out on a red diamond. Now here's a question. Now we
Yeah.
know that Bitcoin is very upwards biased.
right.
But do you take the same strategy on, say, stocks? Do you apply alphanumetrics to anything other than Bitcoin and crypto? Do you use it in commodities? Do you use it in
Yeah.
the stock market?
Yeah, yeah. Look, I sure do, and I've actually prepared a little bit here for you as well. So, how do I make this Zoom thing go away so I can click on tabs? Yeah, there it is. Cool.
Oh yeah, you gotta just move the window down.
Yeah, right. So, I'll just set this up. So, first of all, I'll get rid of my little head here. Is my head moving on your screen, or is it just on me?
It's just on you. What do you mean your head is moving?
Just a little. Sorry. It's on
Yeah,
the
you got a
top.
little. There's a little tiny box of you in the upper corner, but it doesn't like take away from the charts.
Great. Well, we're looking at Tesla here on the weekly time frame. This is where I don't use black box is only going to be for Bitcoin only. Okay, we'll go into that later. Now this is just pure alphanumetrics across the stocks. Okay, we're looking at the weekly time frame, and this is on Tesla, a premium stock like Tesla. I'm happy to go in on a weekly time frame. What most of the time with stocks, I'm looking at a monthly time frame. I know that seems insane, but I want to get these, same as like Tyler Jenks's theories. I want to be in a trade for as long as possible. Once I enter, I hate getting out of trades. I don't want to get out of trades if I'm in them, but if the conditions are met, I'll get out. But for something like Tesla, I'm looking for weekly green diamonds, and you can see we've had 3 in the past, few years. But this one actually was when we're in Bali as well. I was seeing out this one in Bali, and that's been a terrific move here. But you can see that the wave is only just now turning green from this whole time. So it's the green diamonds are sort of not sort of, they are absolutely your counter trend indicator. I feel like Tyler would probably roll over in his grave. I know that's insensitive to say, that I include the green diamonds in the trading, because that's why I call it alphanumetrics, because it's similar to Consensio in essence, but it has that pure alpha to it as well, to spark those extreme black swan events or to counter trend, to get some exposure on great assets at great times. And just like Tyler would say, don't tell me what to buy, tell me when to buy it. Alphanumetrics doesn't say what's a good stock. There's no fundamental research at all. It's just analysis. So if you're picking your dog shit stocks or your shit coins or whatever like that, I mean, you don't need alphanumetrics. You need a bottle of tequila and a priest at that point.
No, Tyler was way too conservative to catch a falling knife. Like he would not have gone in on the green diamond. He would have waited and bought the upside. But the other question is, so I'm gonna guess here, you went 50% long on the green diamond, and then you are now 100% long Tesla now that it flipped into the green wave.
Yes, exactly. And just note, when I'm looking at stocks, I go into the settings of alphanumetrics and I change from weekly. I use weekly for cryptos and for Bitcoin specifically, and then I'll flick this down to monthly. This is all in the tutorial. It's you'll see all of this stuff there. But
So you're on the monthly with Tesla.
Yeah. I use the monthly for the band conditions rather than the weekly.
For the band conditions. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. But if you are going long 100% on the green wave, but is the green wave matching with those dots, or you could hit a green wave but still not break the dots?
No, you gotta break the dots. You
gotta break the dots. Okay, so the dots are in line. So the moment a candle touches a dot, that's when the wave flips. Okay, so they are in sync.
Yeah, they're in sync. Yeah,
okay.
That's right. And we'll just look at a few others like that I've just identified here, like Walmart. It's just it's the whole thing. The whole thing is identify what assets you want and build a little watch list of things that you want. And then you can program signals throughout Alphanumetrics as well. We have custom signals. It's as simple as anything to go in and then add alerts. And then you can program, I want the green diamond on the weekly time frame, on the monthly time frame, and it'll fire off a signal straight to you. So you can wait for these fantastic entries that just seldom happen, but they happen. They happen on assets all the time. But for the most part, I want to be looking at stocks on the monthly time frame, because that's key for stocks. I want to be in long-term positions on stocks. Netflix.
Oh, whoa, what's that purple candle? I haven't seen that yet.
That's the phantom indicator. That's another feature, another feature of Alphanumetrics. It sounds messy. This is all, I've got it. It's all through the learning that we have. We have, tutorial videos that'll explain everything. It's another aspect that I use to identify trends changing, like a long macro look at when trends are changing. You can see these, but the whole month will be purple, which means we've had the top, we've crashed down, we've recovered, we're going purple again, like that. I call them a phantom because they happen so rarely in trading. So
hey, Matt, wait. How come the wave only starts in 2018? Is that because of like the IPO or something? Like, does it take like years and years to start the wave?
No, see, it's because I've just pegged the wave to the 200 SMA. It just comes under the 200 SMA. So there's not enough data to go back any further to print it. So if you went to the 3-day time or like the weekly time frame, the wave goes back a lot further.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's
okay. Gotcha. And one more question. Go back to Tesla for a second.
Sure.
On that monthly time frame that you had.
Yeah, that Tesla's on the weekly.
No, Tesla's on the weekly. Okay. So you're going 50% long on the green diamond, but the question is, were you short going into the green diamond or not?
No, I don't short stocks. It's just long only and then raise cash. It's similar to Tyler's.
So you're long only, and then you start taking profit on the red diamond. So when would you have? So let's go back to 2021. Let's say, right?
Sure. Yep.
So 50. Let's go back. Okay. So you go right. Let's start there. You're going 50% long. You're going 100% long upon the break of the dots and going into the green wave. You're taking what on that first red diamond? You're taking maybe 10-15% off the table.
Yeah, 10% is a rule of thumb. Yeah,
10%, and then you would have held the COVID crash, right? The big COVID crash. You would have held through it. No, go back 2020.
No, I'm out here.
No, I know, but go back to 2020, the COVID crash, the big 30% crash.
Oh yeah, right. Yep.
Nope.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
that you're holding through all of that because your wave never flipped.
Yeah, it didn't flip.
So you're holding all of that, and then the next red diamond comes in the summertime. The second red diamond shows up. You want to put your cursor on that? Yep. You're out another 10 to 20%.
Yep, 10%.
And then the third diamond shows up. You're out another 10 to 20%. Yep. And then once the wave goes red, and it's interesting that it goes red because I don't see any dots there, but maybe if you zoom in, there'll be a dot.
Because they were hit. They were hidden
behind it. Right. And the moment the wave goes red, you exit the rest of the trade.
Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And then you exit the rest of the trade, and then you don't go back in. It doesn't, or you do go back in on that green wave.
Yeah, I would have gone back in here and then trimmed 10% here.
Right.
And
but when you go, okay, question. So since there was no red diamond, when the wave goes green at the end of 22, you want to put your cursor on that when you break the dots. Do you go 100% long there, or do you go 50?
100%.
100%. Okay.
Yeah.
So you go 100% long, then you take like 10% off a few weeks later.
Yeah.
And then you exit the trade here. So that one was a losing trade, but even though you made good money on the way up.
Yeah, losing trade. You take the good with the bad. Yeah.
Right. So just to make sure, guys, no system is perfect. There are losing trades.
No, I don't mind about that. I don't mind about that because you'll see why. I took on a trade again here.
Correct.
I saved myself all of this.
Right.
There's
So this
first-
is why I like walking through it, right? And then you exit to cash at going into the summer of 22. In May of 22, you go to cash, and then you go 50% long in December, and now you're 100% long as of a few weeks ago.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That's right. That's right. And look, and if you want to be like, there's no reason to trade the way I trade. I trade very, very aggressively. If you were Tone Vays and a lot better trader than I am, you would have gone long here. And then by the time you were here, you would have had a break-even stop loss in anyway, right?
Yes, and I probably would have done that, but also I probably would be taking slightly more than 10% on every red diamond. Because the red diamond shows up after a massive run up. So I think I would be taking a bigger chunk on the red diamond, like not 10%, but closer to 20-25% every red diamond.
It's dealer's choice, and there's
Right.
absolutely nothing wrong with that. But my analysis has proven, and my decade of experience has proven, we get into hyperbolic runs, we get into hyper waves, and I want as much exposure as possible. I don't want to take I'll just take 100% here. Oh, you've just boned yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Even 50%. You're taking profit out of habit and consistency with the plan, but you want to be in. You want to be in. You want to be in a rising market. You know, that's just my thoughts on that.
Right. No. It looks good, and this is also what I say about the MRI. Like, the MRI has so many features to it. Like, 5 different people can trade the MRI completely differently, and as long as they have their proper risk management in place, all 5 could be profitable systems.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, ultimately, that's why I've built Black Box, because I've got a moderate following, and I've got somewhat of a group that have purchased AlphanumetriX. There's a few hundred there, and we've got a pretty active Discord group. But what we find is ultimately no one will follow it. Like, very, very few people will follow it, because buying Tesla, just for argument's sake, buying Tesla here, Twitter and every YouTuber and everything, well, Tesla's gone. That Elon Musk is going to commit social suicide.
Right, he's gonna go to prison. He's gonna lose all his money. They're gonna get him. He's gonna lose 50 billion. Twitter is gonna get nationalized. Yeah, no, it's scary to buy these things, but they tend to work out. Just like in COVID, the only other green diamond you see on the screen happened right at the low, right? Like when you think the world's gonna end. Right.
So that's why I've made Black Box. I'm not saying that everyone should put all their money in Black Box. Listen, I'm not. I don't care. I've got my own money, but I made it for the community. I think it's going to be fantastic, because it'll just do it for you. It'll do it. It'll run itself. At the moment, it's going to be just for Bitcoin. It's totally free. It's not for sale. Totally free. And it'll tick away. If you put some money in there and just leave it for 5-10 years, it'll just tick away. It'll do its thing without emotion, without fear, without any FOMO or biases or anything like that. I think it's going to be, it's a game changer. Why don't we just keep rattling through these stupid things here? Disney. I brought up.
Let's finish up the education on the indicator, and then we're just gonna go through a bunch of assets. So the purple candles, you didn't really get into that, but if that's a semantic, maybe you don't have to go into the details. Guys, just like the MRI, AlphanumetriX, I mean, Matt charges very little for it, and I keep dropping the price of the MRI. Right now, the MRI is $400. And I think I'll probably lower it a little bit. Eventually, these things will be free, because we're not really looking to profit from people, and you still have to use your brain in order for these trading systems to actually work. They're not. He named it Black Box, which is interesting. Nice name, by the way. Just to make sure people know what the hell is these things are tricky. But yeah, just anything else in it. The only other question I have on it is, which are like, what is it made from? Like, I know AlphanumetriX uses Consensio, and it clearly uses an aspect similar to stop and reverse points. what other traditional TA tools are inside AlphanumetriX?
It's a collaboration. There's nothing new. It's nothing new. It's a collaboration of tools that are freely available on TradingView already. They're all finely tuned the way I like them. It's an all-in-one indicator, so it's good for people who don't want to pay for a TradingView. They can get every indicator that they really need to use, and then they can tune it the way they want. I encourage people to go around and play with all of the settings. You can change where the diamonds come in. You can change the moving averages. So, for example, Tone, like on your 4-day chart that you use for Bitcoin, you could just use AlphanumetriX for that and just change all the moving averages just to be yours. But it would include the spark of the diamonds. It would include the phantom signals. It would give you trim out points and stuff like that. Ultimately, it's just a system. It's a systematic approach to trading, which I think is really, really valuable. I think it's valuable for people. And things like the phantom indicator, I won't go into it now because there's a free video on my YouTube channel. You can just go and watch it. It's got everything there.
Oh man, the phantom indicator, that's the purple bar, right?
Yeah, like the purple one. So it's
okay. You know what? Save that one. Save that one. If you don't want to know about the purple bar, they'll have to get the indicator and get your tutorials. One last question.
Go on, mate.
You may choose not to answer. What metric causes the diamond? And let me rephrase that. Let me specify the question. I don't want the exact parameters, but is the diamond generated based on, for example, a standard deviation move? Is it based on a certain distance from a specific moving average? Like for example, in the MRI, the rules that cause an MRI top. It's a certain number of consecutive lows or consecutive highs that measure versus prior highs and lows. So that's why when you get a trend in the same direction, eventually you hit it. So what is that metric that causes that diamond to show up?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, perfect.
But I'll as soon as you buy the system, if you want to, yeah, it's all there. You'll see. It's clear.
Got it. Okay. So you tell me, you're just not going to tell it on my YouTube channel.
Yeah. I'll text you later. But I want to be really clear. This is Tyler Jenks's work. This is Tone Vays' work. This is my own observations through a decade of trading. I've been highly successful as a trader, infinitely successful, and I don't stress as much as maybe I should,
And Matt, and it really sounds like the biggest takeaway you got from watching myself with Tyler, because I kind of did bring Tyler into the YouTube world, is me constantly saying the best trading system is the one you build yourself. You will never find a better trading system than the one that you build and the one that you trust. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be simple, but trusting your own simple system will always be better than trusting somebody else's elaborate system.
I agree. I agree totally. And that's why every setting is completely customizable. I mean, every indicator is customizable. There's nothing special about that. But it's the simplicity of it that probably loses the most amount of people, because they're just like, this can't be something. It's nothing. This is ridiculous. It's too simple. I'm a simple man. I like simple moving averages. I like simple things, and it's simple. You want to blow?
Let's maybe do it this way. How about I take screen share, I turn on AlphanumetriX, and we go through a bunch of stocks on my end and see how it and see what it says.
Sure. Well, but you'll have to play with a few settings, but that's all good. I don't mind doing that at all.
Okay. So in that case, let's go through your screen then.
All right. Well, I've got a few earmarked here. We can just run through these quickly. I brought up Disney right now. I know you hate Disney, and I think Disney's in trouble for all the obvious stupid reasons. But on a monthly time frame, I'd be looking for a green diamond. I would be looking for a green diamond on a Disney right now. I think that we could crash down and we could pick up somewhere in, like, I don't know, within inside or below this 200 SMA. Disney's one looks bad. It's doubling bottoms and all the rest of it.
Right, but Matt, so here on Disney, right? Like the stock is still trending down, but you have a green wave.
Yeah.
But there is no green diamond. Does this mean you're already long Disney or not yet?
No, I'm not long Disney yet. I'm not long Disney yet. I mean, personally, I'm not long Disney yet. It would have gone long up here like that on the system. But like your stop loss is down here. So I can zoom in closer. Sorry, no one can see
Right.
that.
So would Black Box had entered a person long into Disney?
Yeah, it would have done. Yeah, it would have done. It would have entered here and at 100, and you'd be underwater right now. But you'd be looking close to getting out of this and looking for another entry down lower.
Gotcha.
But remember, Black Box is only for Bitcoin as it stands right now. I'm not putting Black Box fit. I want more discretion in my stock trading than I would for Bitcoin. I want Bitcoin to be optimized, custom, and just automated. But these stocks, I just want to be able to long only when I see good long-term investment opportunities.
So before you switch, so right here, what's happening with Disney? You just reminded me that I've been lazy for too long, about a year and a half now to 2 years, because I've been meaning to write my own stop and reverse point system, because I've always disliked how the stop and reverse points would flip you from short immediately into long upon the touch of the point. Like that red candle that broke the trend, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, if you put your cursor on that red candle, nope, not that one, the one after that broke the dot, the dot,
right
this
here,
one,
yes.
right? So I have been meaning to write my own stop and reverse point, and I may give away the formula of what I was going to do, but I wasn't going to charge for it anyway. I was going to give it away for free. And what I was going to do with my stop and reverse is I was going to make them, green on the bottom, red on top, meaning, bullish, bearish. But I wasn't going to break the stop and reverse point upon the touch. I was only going to break the stop and reverse point upon the close on the opposite side of the stop and reverse point. And when you get a touch, you would get a point on both sides of the candle, as if the points keep going in yellow, and that becomes the no trade zone. And it was only so I was going to create my own stop and reverse point system with a cash component, because I would have kept the dot going. So on that candle, you see how on that candle, the dot showed up at the bottom, but the dot at the top disappeared, right? My dot at the top would have still remained. So that red candle would have had two dots, one at the top, one at the bottom, both yellow, as a cash position. And eventually one of those two dots would have hit. Again. So then it can go into yellow, and then it can go back into red, or it can go into anyway. So I was going to have a cash. You understand what I mean, right?
I 100% understand what you mean. And the thing that I'll mention is I'm just like you. I've done thousands, and I must have done 10,000 hours of charting and study. And what you'll find is there's a coin flip. There's three sides to a coin. There's heads, there's tails, and there's the angle, the side of the coin. And what'll happen? This one right here. Well, that would have, in your system, it would have kept you in that trade. It would have, because the candle closed down here. So I'd yes, in that case, damn, I would have.
Well, no. It wouldn't have kept me in the trade. It would have exited my trade, but it wouldn't have flipped my trade.
I love it.
It would have exited, and it would have flipped my trade if today's candle breaks and closes below the bottom SAR, then that would have entered the short. But right now I would have been in cash, because we never closed above it. However, see, if you kept the dots going down, right? So imagine where that dot would have been above the candle if it didn't disappear, right? And then where would the next dot be? Lower. And then the next dot. So it's possible that that green candle that you're on would have closed above that dot, and that would have flipped my trade if it closed above it. If not, the trade stays in cash, and the trade only enters after the close of the candle above the dot, but it exits you upon the touch of the dot.
What I was getting to, and I completely understand what you're saying, but very, very, very often you'll see this. Bep. Do you know what I mean? Like where it'll just tear through.
Right,
like,
right, but
yeah,
right, but I would still take my chances. So if you go backwards, right, this happened twice. If you go to the last time you broke that dot over on at the end of 2020, nope, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right. Yep, that one, right?
Yep.
Yes, it broke it, but it didn't. You'd enter at the end of the candle, right? Like you don't have to wait for candle close. You just have to be fairly like 80-90% confident that it is going to close up there, right? So like that one's good. Then if you go to the prior time it happened, yes, it got a little bit above. It go further left, all the way. Yep, we're over in early 2019. Yep, right there, that green candle, right? Yes, that one got a little bit out of hand, but you didn't have to wait till the very end of the candle. You just have to be moderately positive that it isn't that there's not a lot of time left in the candle. It's gone far enough above it. Like once you're confident that you are going to close above it, that's when you enter the trade, not the moment it touches.
As a discretionary
that's
trader,
how I would do it.
No, I agree, and often I will go against the system because I can anticipate what's going to happen. I can see it in advance, and I can pull the trigger and go 100% long. I don't have to go 50%. It's not a black and white system. I can use discretion in a trade. Of course I can. Of course I can use discretion. Well, let's keep going through. So what we got here?
Right, let's go through them. And someone is asking for Uber. So after you go through this list, we'll pull up Uber.
All right.
This is beautiful diamond there.
This was in my presentation over in the summit as well. This is Meta. Do you remember I was talking about Meta at the time?
It was, yeah. You were because that diamond happened just before.
We were there. We were at that. We were in Bali.
We were there. You were like, I'm all in on Meta. That's literally what you said at the presentation.
On
that diamond.
Yeah, it was classic. It was classic. Classic move. And there's nothing else to say. It's as clear as day. On that, in that case, we can keep going. I added just a couple of random ones here. I put like a Russian bank in for you because I just wanted to. I just wanted to have a look at this. Oh, what's it? Let me turn this. Well, what is happening here? I know what's happening. It's this. Sorry, Tone.
That's okay. Welcome to charting on live air.
Yeah. Look, and everyone's gonna yell, "You got to click this button, you idiot!" Yes, because I do it when I'm watching your shows, so I know. Let's skip it. It's bugging me. I know. It might be because
to turn the RSI off. Sometimes that happens because sometimes there ends up a line like at the bottom. Yeah.
It was you. It was
RSI,
your
MRI off. Yeah, it was my indicator.
Yeah. I just like watching these banks recover when the banks are supposed to collapse. I don't know what else I was going to say on this. Oh yeah, just hunting for like black swan events and just keeping your eye open for black swan events. There's nothing else to say there. This is the one that your friend at the airport had going. Do you remember?
That's right. The random person I met at the airport. I forgot all about that. Glad that you paid attention. Energy transfer. Yeah, it's doing okay. You're in a bullish zone. It's a fairly new stock. Your wave just started.
Right, but I mean, like the three
wow. Oh, you did send it to me. You know what? I sent him the screenshot. That's right.
Right. You even spoke about it on your show the next day. I mean, this should be hung in the Louvre. It's beautiful. I like when I see things like this. I've never heard of this. I'm not in any of these trades, obviously, but I just thought it was cool. Again, there's nothing interesting here. Oh yeah, you've been talking about this one on your show, the Virgin Galactic.
Virgin Galactic, yeah. You don't have anything. Yeah.
Well, we got this.
in this case, would you go to a lower level time frame? Well, like what does it look like on the weekly? Because the monthly isn't really giving us much. You don't have the stocks that hasn't been around long enough.
No, it looks good. Like we got the diamond here, we got the trim here, and then we got out of the position. It's on the on the lower time frames, the wave changes. But what I'm looking at here is either we crash down and get another monthly green diamond, which I would be very interested in, or we break the condition here on the way down as it's coming lower and lower each week. I'd be interested in this. This is the kind of the charts that I enjoy looking at these type of things, to be honest. And I guess finally, we can have a look at the S&P 500. So let's do this.
Yeah, it looks very bullish.
It looks very bullish.
Yeah, you never got your diamond. You just missed it. I'm all right, caught it nicely.
Yeah, you did. But we're above. I mean, it's the same thing. We're above every moving average.
Right. The green star showed up around the same time as you broke those star looking things.
Yeah. And then if you drop it down to the weekly time frame.
Yeah, you should really you should put a star on your weekly so that it's up there on the left hand side. It's like my OCD is bothering me. Because you're always flipping between the two. So if you pull that down arrow. Yeah,
we're on the weekly time frame now. Like we did get a diamond on the big crash back in COVID crash. So that was lovely.
I didn't get the MRI because I didn't have enough candles there.
It was too fast. Too fast for my system. But yeah, and it was perfect for your system. But yet on the one that the buy back in October was probably too slow of a crash for your system, but it was perfect for the MRI. It was very close. But like we would have been in, from just over 4,000. But I just love going back in time, like and just studying the charts, like just looking for green diamonds on weekly and monthly time frames, going back.
Beautiful right there in that 2009 crash. Look at that.
Yeah, but there's a couple there, but I love this. I just geek out on this sort of stuff. I would be buying on all of them. I would just be stacking. It goes back to that DCA thing. Like if you're going to hodl, that's 1 point. If you're going to DCA, that's 1 point. And I would suggest, well, you do both hodl and DCA, but off a diamond at least, if nothing else, like have a reason to buy something, have a real commitment to it. I mean, I go back. I go way back. All right, look, I'm feeling good, Tone. I don't know. I could just run through like the websites here. It's got some videos and reviews and the products. I've got AlphanumetriX is the main product you've seen. Float is not for everybody. I love Float, and there's a free video on YouTube. Just watch that if you're interested in Float. It's a leverage trading calculator. So you can program positions, you can build positions, you can test what leverage, if you entered what amount of leverage, and I'll run through a bit of that with you in a minute. I think Float is fantastic for managing positions, but that's like the accountant in me looking at that sort of stuff. And then you come down to Black Box here. Black Box is going to be brilliant. We'll be launching about the 10th of July for Bitcoin only. It's totally free. And I know you're thinking, well, what would you get out of it? I have partnerships with the exchange, the same way like all your big YouTubers make their money through like affiliate marketing. I make a commission from the exchange, not from you. It doesn't cost you any more than if you were trading by yourself. I would highly recommend throwing a little bit of money.
Let me ask you this question on Black Box. Does it actually execute people's positions or like through an API, or does it just signal to people that they have to enter them themselves?
Yeah, no, it's connected through API. So it'll just fire off. It goes from our bot to the exchange and it'll just fire for you. But you'll be able to allocate what percentage of your account is allocated to. They'll have the whole criteria. So you can say, I only want 10% of my account or 1% of my account to Black Box, or 100% of my account. I want to use 100% rollover on the position. I want to put a stop loss in at 30%. It'll all be programmable. You're in total control of it, but it'll just execute off the commands.
Right. Interesting. And you don't charge for this. That's an interesting business model. But the people, in order to use Black Box, people would have to like open up a new account through your affiliate link, and then they can use this for free.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Interesting. All
Yeah,
right.
it's
No, that's
it's
an interesting business model. Yeah, it costs people nothing, and they can allocate 5% of their account to this and see if it works for them.
just let it run. And I urge you to let it run over time, because as you see, it's not a high frequency bot. It's like I think of it as like an investment bot, or like a money management bot. Leave it in there. If you put $1,000 in it and leave it for 10 years, you'll see some, and put 100% rollover on it, you'll see some sparks. You'll see some sparks. No leverage. All those results you saw before, all these the results that we had on our black box, none of that is leveraged either. So very minimal risk as well. Like, it's not leveraged to the gills or anything like that.
Right. There was of course exchange risk, right? Like if someone ran this on FTX, they're going to get screwed, right? Like, there's nothing you can do about that.
Big time. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. But like in the future, when we get bigger, we'll reach out to more decentralized exchanges and see if we can build more, find some exchanges that are decentralized. But who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? This, I'm just going to 100% rollover again so we can see some spark results. I mean, it's just pure multipliers. I love it. I'm really excited about it. I really believe in it. I'm locked in for this. So reach out at any time.
Let's glance at a couple of more stocks, because people can certainly go to your website. They can go to your YouTube channel. They can get more information. They can follow you on TradingView as well. A couple of stocks. Uber was requested, and NASDAQ was requested, and Tilray was requested. Another stock I look at all the time.
All right. Let me just catch up here. All right, so we're on the weekly time frame right now. Again, I would go to the monthly time frame.
It's going to be all red.
I'm just going to get rid of US for a second. Why?
That's fine.
Yeah,
you can also if you go to settings of the MRI, you can drop those numbers. You can just make it clean so that only the arrows show up.
I love the numbers. I'm addicted to the numbers, man. But yeah, so look, Tilray, look at this. That is, I'd be looking if you see again, if you or I look, you'd be looking at the monthly time frame and be just locked and loaded for a monthly green diamond. Let's put a marker in. Like, now we'll just drop a marker in time.
Drop a marker where the MRI is going to come in. You got about four more months.
Give me
4 more, yeah. 4 more weeks. 4 more weeks. Oh, 4 more months, yeah.
4 more months.
No, it's way too much. No, it's way too much. That's like 8. That's like a year and a half, dude. 4 candles.
Yeah. It does. No, it's just a line. It's not where the cursor is.
Oh, okay.
So whatever. I think we'll get a green diamond on a monthly scale.
I'm time based. That's the thing. This is the beauty of it. The green diamond it sounds like it's like 90% price based, but the MRI is like 70%, 80% time based. So that's why there's a really good combination. I need to start having your indicator up on all my charts going forward.
Well, you're exactly right, but the wave is time based as well. So there's a few factors running. Like, the wave is coming down. It's drawing down over the months. So I would love to see this just meander. The longer it meanders, the better. It will load up, and then if we saw a capitulation, flash crash, bang, and we could buy a long hold position. And you don't have to follow AlphanumetriX system or anything like that. You could just have you make your own system. You say, well, I'm gonna be a hodler. I'm gonna load up on monthly green diamonds on Tilray and other.
Can you put a vertical line in there for when the MRI is gonna come in? It's gonna be in 4 months.
Yeah,
and this way we can see what happens on that corner. What if it hits that corner exactly?
6, 7, 8, 9.
Perfect. Yep, right there. Excellent. So let's see. So you have your line where you're expecting it hit horizontally, and I'm expecting it to hit vertically.
Let's just do this for fun. All right, let's just do this, and then who the hell knows? But the point is you'll see the diamond there wherever it is. If it's down here or if it's here or whatever, I don't care. fine. But for fun, let's do it. Let's do it for fun. It's not a
Okay,
stake.
let's look at another one then. Let's look at, but again, it's a fairly new song. JMIA.
Is this J? Sorry, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
See it.
you
Yeah.
got
Well,
that.
look at the MRI on this thing on a
Yeah,
monthly
nice.
scale.
Yeah, nice. But I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, that's, and look
But
here
it's
too.
too it's
See
too
that?
new of a stock for AlphanumetriX. It's on a monthly scale. Like you just don't have enough data yet, wave
Yeah,
wise.
I can still operate alpha without the, like, with for new stocks. I mean, it's just a, see, like, you're getting the weekly. This is why I don't use weekly on stocks, especially new stocks, because you're getting all these diamonds too soon. Too soon. If it's an untested, entity, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to err on the side of caution here. I'm still in the same boat. So you were beautiful here, Tone. You were beautiful here. You were fucking beautiful here too. I'm sorry for swearing. This is you nailed this, man. You nailed it, right? But I'm the same. I'm the same. I'm a one trick pony here. I'd be looking for either a monthly green diamond or a break of this descending line here. So other than that, I've got nothing to say. You were right, Tone. What else we got?
Let's do Nasdaq, NDS, and let's look at gold too and oil.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, a lot of all the cornerstone stocks look the same. I think they all look like
Yeah,
this.
no, the indices are going to look the same. Let's jump to oil and gold. So you'd be 100% bullish right here in the Nasdaq for a few months now.
Yeah,
Oh no, wait, you're back to the weekly. You're back on the weekly, not monthly.
Sorry, now I'm on the weekly because I just wanted to check again. Something like the Nasdaq, I'm more interested in the weekly time frame. It's
Oh,
so
I see. I think
so
so. It depends on
discretion.
it depends on volatility. Like the more volatile the asset, the more likely you go monthly. The less volatile the asset you can go weekly.
If it's something yeah, it's the volatility, as you say. It's like something like the Nasdaq or the S&P 500. They're not going to have. They could have, and they sometimes have. But I'm comfortable at buying. It's all about, if I'm going to buy this, I'm at least going to buy it off a weekly green diamond. And I might be wrong for a few months or a year, but it was better than any of your other buys that you had for 4 years prior to that. So it's that
Right.
mentality. Like I was wrong for fucking a few months, but I wasn't wrong there. That's the thought. What else have you got for me, mate?
Oil and gold.
All right.
You can go to the futures market. CL1 is the futures on oil.
CL1.
Yeah. So pull the drop down. Click on that.
Oh, did I just? I'm gonna.
Oh no, that's right. No, that's correct. Crude oil weekly. Yeah, you got that stupid thing there, but you can zoom in. Yep.
Yeah, this is again weekly time frame. So we'll just. I'd be looking.
Well, I'm surprised there's no green diamond in the last year.
Well, we're not far off. I'd say we're not far off. I'll go to the monthly time frame and have a look. I don't know how it's going to go. Like it's AlphanumetriX. Boom. AlphanumetriX. For like forex, and that is not. No, it's not recommended at all. That was all right. I mean, it did.
I gotta go answer a question. Fabio, that green red, it's called the wave. Matt refers to it as the wave. It's part of the indicator. It's not a separate indicator. Everything you see on there is part of the same indicator.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some. Well, that was lovely, and then nothing here.
So
But
yeah, surprising.
A couple here and then here. This is again, we're on the monthly time frame here for crude. So
right now you'd be short or in cash on oil.
yeah, I'd be in cash. So I would have gone along here. I would have been probably stopped out if that was more than, that went minus. So I would have been rooted there. And then ultimately I would have had to go on back in here and I would have been out here. So profitable trade, I suppose. I've never traded crude oil before. I've never traded futures for crude or anything like that.
Right. Well, let's glance at gold. Those are our big markets. Oh yeah, you can look at it that way. Yep. That was a little different.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that we got a good diamond topping point here, but no, it just looks. We did get the phantom candle come in here, but it also came in here. Gold is funny. I've traded gold before, to be honest. But I've never had much success trading gold. It's just never really done. It's never done enough for me. It's never sparked me.
All right, let's look at. Did you pull up Netflix?
Yeah.
And let's also look at like Nvidia. Nvidia has been popular.
Oh, we did Netflix, so we can do it in video.
There's Nvidia. Oh, you had it. Just put an N in there. It'll show up. Just N. Just N. Just N. Put the letter N. It'll show up. There it is. 2 down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow, gorgeous, gorgeous.
There's that phantom candle. I'm still not sure what it is. So you guys will have to go to Matt's website and figure that one out.
Yeah, we're back on the weekly now.
No green diamonds either on this one.
No. Like you would have been here, trimmed here, but
still a good run the moment you enter the green wave and then do an exit. And you're still mostly long. Like you're still like 80-90% long right now.
Yeah, well, 90% long. I mean, like these were great. These were great trims. Out of the position, got back in here. I mean, this is without the green diamonds, it's consensio in a sense. Do you know what I mean? Like Tyler would have stayed right out here. I would have been waiting. This must have been really close. It must have been really close. But I would have been
turn the MRI on. I'm curious if it caught my low, if it caught a low there. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Yeah. Zoom in on that. Zoom in on that low.
Yeah, I'll zoom right in on it there.
Look at that. And the M's showed up. So it was a weekly inside a monthly.
Brilliant. And then like time would have been, probably on the reverse, and then the green star out of the position at perfect, waited here, considered going short, closed position here, long again.
Well, no, I wouldn't have closed position there. We'll close it on the green star. Like red star into the green star would have been a flip from bearish to bullish, unless it hit a stop loss.
Yeah, right. And then you're off again.
Trimmed. Beautiful. Yep, trimmed there. Back in on the green star. Yep.
Yeah. Back in.
Probably doubled down on the following green star, and now I'm considering getting out on because the MRI buy is coming in 2 weeks.
Hard to argue with, Tone.
Yeah, no, I gotta start having your indicator open on all my charts. It definitely complements the MRI beautifully.
Yeah, they look great. And I'll show you why. This is the last thing I might as well talk about. I'm going to go change this back to weekly, and I'll show you why. We're going back to Bitcoin. All right. And I'm going to do 4-hour time frame. All right. I'm going to get rid of yours for 1 second. Oh, I want to use these charts because I don't want that drawing I did on it. 1 second. This is worth the wait, guys.
You know what? We never even discussed, like, your indicator also shows up with like buy and sell signals. We never even discussed that. You might have to come back.
Yeah, well, maybe do you want to even save this point? See, this is a 4-hour time frame. So this is how I look at it on the 4-hour time frame. I always want to buy when I'm only respecting these green diamonds inside a green wave. So here, these are no signals. The macro trend, this is for my day trading, swing trading, whatever you want to call it. When the wave is red, I am not interested in any long positions. I'm just not. But when the wave turns green, I'm looking for the pullback inside the green wave, and especially pull back inside the green wave off a green diamond. These are what I'm looking for. These trades.
Let me ask you a question. Does it have to be inside the green wave, or could it be like above the green wave?
Yeah, the key is inside the green wave.
Inside, literally inside. Okay.
Inside the green wave is the buy zone, in the buy zone like that. And then, so when the wave turns red, I'm no longer looking at bullish trades. I mean, if we just auto it back in time a little, like this whole period, I'm not looking for any of these positions. The wave is red. I am not interested. But you'll see as the auto adjusts. We can't, this is back in time now. We've gone back to 2021. We came out and then we retraced. There's all of the times you're looking at the charts and you're like, oh, okay, we've got I know what people are like. I know the psychology of traders because I am one. I know. I see all the moves. I see your moves. I see what other people are looking at. They're like, oh, okay, wow, high. Okay, as soon as we break this line, I'm going up here and that's put my thing back on here.
All right,
like,
Matt, one last thing. We do need to wrap up in like 5 minutes. I am conscious of your time as well. So one last thing, right? Like when I turn on the AlphanumetriX, it shows me arrows with buy and sell words.
Yeah.
You haven't shown that at all on your stream.
No.
Is that something I should just have turned off for now, or is that something you can cover in 2 minutes?
I absolutely have them turned off on the lower time frames. It'll be peppered with buys and sells on the lower time frames.
Right, but what about the higher time frames, like weekly, monthly, and how do you apply those? Like, how do you what do they mean?
Okay,
I know they say buy and sell, but like just like sometimes it doesn't literally mean buy and doesn't literally mean sell.
You just come into the settings and go show arrows. Okay, you'll see.
Right, exactly. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right. This is the
is that when the wave and no, that's not.
There's
more to it.
It's just Consensio. It's just moving average crosses. It's just moving average crosses. Okay.
It's moving average crosses, but it's not the wave. It doesn't have to coincide with the wave.
No. See, Blackbox uses them in a very interesting way. It's my fail-safe methodology. So let's just say, let's just look at it's built into the system. It's part of the system. Okay. So what'll happen is if you have a bullish or bearish cross, let's say you have a bearish cross, but the wave's still green, they are to be ignored. But if you have a bearish cross when the wave is turned red, then you honor the trade like that. And so where that comes in really handy, this is so technical and it's a long thing and I've got a minute left. But let's say the wave turns green and then you get stopped out because you had a 10% stop loss in. But then the market recovers. If you don't have this fail-safe in, you'll miss the entire move. But if there's a bullish cross then, while the wave is green, even though you've been stopped out, it'll then re-enter 100% long again. So like if here we went bullish, bang, the wave turned green, but then we dropped down, had a wick down, and then it hit down here and you were out of the trade. Well, you would have missed this whole move. But this would have got you back in here with a bullish cross. I've thought of everything. It's just technical.
Right. So for that reason, that is why I wanted to revamp the Lucid SAR system to have that cash buffer.
I have a fail-safe in place. It's the bullish and bearish crosses.
Oh yeah, Uber is the last one, and then we're gonna call it a day.
Is it
sorry, Paul? Like, oh no, I thought we didn't look at it yet. Uber IPO'd a few years ago. It may not have much on a weekly. Yep, just showed up. The green wave just showed up. We're inside the green wave. We're about the green. Oh, beautiful diamonds there at the lows on a weekly scale. And you'd be 100% long, and you would have, there was more. That wave would have flipped you around a bit, but you'd be 100% long now.
Yeah, you would have been in here, out here, if you were using the traditional black box sense of it, but which I wouldn't do for stocks. I could just use discretion. Again, if I was just looking to load up on stocks for hodl positions for longer periods, I would have just loaded up and still been in like that. It's dealer's choice.
All right, Matt, let me jump over to screen share. And definitely thanks for joining. We're just gonna close out real quick. I'm gonna pull up, where am I here? Bam, one more time. I met Matt for the first time in person after talking to him on the phone for a few times as he came to the Financial Summit in Bali. He had an incredible time. We all learned from him. And the Financial Summit focuses on people like Matt. I mean, Matt, you're my perfect guest at the Financial Summit. You teach trading, you trade, very social, hang out. It was a pleasure having you there, and hope to see you in Dubai. And hopefully we get more people like you that also not only come to learn but also come to educate and teach. Guys, make sure you follow Matt on Twitter, YouTube as well. He doesn't have that many subscribers, so let's get him some numbers here. And all these links are, of course, in the video description. You picked up a few, should be able to break 200. Come on, guys, we have 200 people watching this channel right now.
Great.
And any closing words before you head off?
Sure. Look, I'm not much on the social media and all that sort of stuff. I really think that Alphanumetrics can add value to your trading system. I think black box is the key. I'm more focused on black box than anything else right now. If you wanted to know what goes into the black box, go ahead and get Alphanumetrics if you want to, so you can see, you can anticipate what's coming, or you can use it on your stocks, of course, like that. It's just a really solid system. I use it. And but more than anything, Tone, I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me on, mate. It's been a long time coming. You've been a huge inspiration to me, mate, and I consider you a dear friend of mine. Thank you again, mate.
No, thank you. I don't know why YouTube's not playing the video of you saying nice words about the summit during our testimonial video, so people can check that out as well on the Financial Summit YouTube. All right, man. I think we've gone for an hour and a half. There we go.
I'm on there a few times, actually. Remember that they got me to drink the most expensive $80,000 bottle of whatever it was in the middle of the day.
Oh God, no, it wasn't that much, but yeah, but our people bring some cool stuff, so we definitely have a nice bar going. All right,
I was the only person there drinking beer every night, drinking Bintang, and everyone else is drinking.
Oh, you're Australian.
Yeah,
That's what you get.
it comes in the territory.
All right, man. Stay warm down there in the winter of the Australian outback, middle of the desert, which gets freezing at night. And thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon. I'll see you in November, back in Dubai, over in Dubai, nice and warm.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks again, Tone. Cheers, mate.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, follow.